Good evening, afternoon, morning to whoever's watching, and most importantly, Dr. Mills. Hi. Today, I'm going to be doing a short presentation here about hell is other people, or how hell is other people. Famous quote from Jean-Paul Sartre, a famous existentialist. Probably did it better than anyone else. Um, but the quote "hell is other people" is widespread. It's well known, but commonly misinterpreted because it's pretty funny to misinterpret it. You know, in order to think about it, when you first hear it, you think that it just sucks to be around other people. You know, sort of the quote from Scar in The Lion King: "I'm surrounded by idiots." It's it sucks to be around other people. But Sartre had friends, right? And most people would agree that it's nice to have friends or family or pets, even, you know? It's no good to be alone all the time. So, I mean, if he's a philosopher, which he is or was, he wouldn't be a proponent that everyone live alone all the time because that's not a way to suggest everyone to live. So, what did he really mean? Here's a good quote. He says, "Hell is other people has always been misunderstood. It has been thought that what I meant by that was that our relations with other people are always poisoned, that they are invariably hellish relations. But what I really mean is something totally different. I mean that if relations with someone else are twisted, vitiated, then that other person can only be hell." From Jean-Paul Sartre. Loner? Maybe, but probably not. Basically, what he's saying here is that it is hell to be around people who are hell. That if the way that you are acting around this other person makes you feel like shit, then you're in hell. What he's saying is that when he says hell is other people, he is not describing other people as hell. He is describing hell as other people. Now, how do these relationships get, as he says, vitiated or twisted or poisoned? Jean-Paul Sartre came up with the idea, or was a heavy proponent of the idea that existence precedes essence, which is so well spoken and so quippy. But what it basically boils down to is that you're born and then you get to decide who you are. You get to become who you will become. So here on the right, we have a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II shortly before her death, as printed on a New Zealand £10 note, or it might have been £20. Regardless, that is what she looked like, more or less, when she was about to die, or close, or most recently. She looked like that. And then she died, rest in peace, and England printed a £10 note with a old picture of her from when she was much younger. And as though that's the way that we should remember our beloved matriarch and monarch. And so Queen Elizabeth got to decide what portrait was put on the money and how she was portrayed and how she was understood in the world for a very long time. And then as soon as her existence was over, her essence was decided. That's the picture that we will remember Queen Elizabeth II by. That's the way that she will be remembered and thought of, and that is how her legacy will carry on. She's 30-something, a queen, and she's on a £10 note. All of these people in this painting are from the Victorian period at a Academy of the Arts, and all of them are looking at very beautiful paintings, yes, and you might want to be there to see all of these wonderful paintings, especially around the artists that painted them. Some of them are very famous paintings you might know, and so that would be nice. But Victorian society is known for being rigid, stiff, and very restrictive. You had to act a certain way. And of course, you could say that about any society at any point, but it really looks that way with the Victorians. Everyone in this painting doesn't look to be enjoying themselves all too much. They all look itchy, stiff, tired, and considering how many people are in that room that does not have air conditioning, they're probably hot too. Sweaty, itchy, hot, stiff, not happy, not having a good time. And so this is sort of what Jean-Paul Sartre is getting at when he says that hell is other people, because all of these people would probably like to wear a t-shirt and cargo shorts and flip-flops maybe, because it's hot in there and they just want to look at art. But because of the society they live in and the restrictions that are subconsciously, I mean, none of them would go to jail for wearing cargo shorts, but the societal restrictions placed on them makes their lives hellish. I mean, that room is hot. Hell. Just because hell is other people, that doesn't necessarily mean other people are always hell. And that's sort of what I was getting at earlier in saying that he's describing hell and not describing other people. What he means by that quote is that his idea of hell is not boiling and torture, or maybe it is torture, but that torture isn't physically derived, but just derived from having to have small talk with people that you don't like and don't like you. So be yourself. Surround yourself with people who like who you are or who you want to be, and become that person. Become who you've always seen yourself as being, because you only live for so long, so why make life hell if you'll get there eventually? That's all. Live authentically, be yourself, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye, Dr. Mills.